Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm having a pretty good day. I did get woke up. I didn't want to get up, but I was woke up. Doug had to get out working on the tractor today. We have rain coming in, so he's got it going. First he had to weld the bucket, and that was a couple days ago, and so today he put the starter on it and new one, and it's going again. But that really brings to mind what's on the top thing on my mind right now is the farmers in the world. They don't have electric tractors, and fertilizer and those type of things are made out of oil. Everything they need to produce food for the people of the world is being squelched. And then it is true, I heard today, like Venezuela, Russia, and other places, their oil isn't as clean as like what our refineries do here. And so and making deals with Iran from Russia through Iran to here and buying Venezuelan oil is ridiculous when we have our pipelines closed down, you know, and people aren't drilling for oil here, which is renewable, and it's really hard to make people believe that it is renewable. And then if they want to go on that clean energy trip, they could produce Tesla's energy and everybody could have free energy. But they don't want to do that because they want control of everything. So here people are paying an arm and a leg for gas and food, and the farmers can't even get out in their field because of the price of the fuel and the fertilizer. And furthermore, we're in between 40 and 50 billion dollars to support other countries, sending that to the Ukraine before our farmers have um, enough of everything to get out in the field and produce for us and make money off of what they're doing, because they are more important in our country to our economy and our lives than those of our children. And that reminds me too. I mean, I don't mind feeding other people when our people aren't starving, but when baby formula factories are shut down, and then baby formula is sent down to the border of Mexico, where American babies, the United States babies rather, because Mexico's America, but before the Mexican children should have formula, the American children should have formula. And that's just, I'm American first person. I live here. This is our country, you know? And then everybody else after that. Hey, it's my forefathers and me that made the money they're spending for the children of today. So I have a say so, you know. And maybe somebody else does too. And then I would ask you, maybe, have you worked as hard as I have contributing to this system? And how old are you and how many decades have you been doing it? Because I've watched the farmers go under before. I've seen gas lines in the 1970s where you couldn't even get gas. You'd drive around on empty just trying to find some place to fill up where they could gouge you because of the same type of garbage that's going on today. I've seen this crap so many times. And they say it's because of the WAR going on. That has nothing to do with it. When something like that's going on, you don't shut down the only source of fuel that you have keeping a nation going around. You produce more. And then in turn, with like in a couple weeks, if they open up that pipeline, our economy will pick up. I'm doing a video, but yeah, here, just excuse me a minute. Yeah, I'm just talking about that pipeline stuff. Yeah. So you what? You broke it again? Uh-oh. Broke again. You're welcome. Come back in. I'll have more. I'm rolling cigarettes, so he comes in, grabs for cigarettes. He was born with bronchitis, so. But the weird thing is, he thought he was getting like the COVID, and started smoking cigarettes again and felt better. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. So I got my sit-ups done before I made a video today because I really almost forgot I wasn't feeling good yesterday. Yeah, I I did sleep pretty good for the amount of sleep I did get. So yeah, not too bad. But yeah, Peter Benton, you were talking about, it was like 4:30 in the morning and you're starting your day. Oh, I do not miss my 4:30 in the morning days at all. At all. Yeah. And most of the time your kids have no clue, like they're sleeping there like little snuggy buggies while you're up walking around in a freaking daze and it's dark out and you can't see and you're lost and you're tired and I do not envy your youth at all like that, as far as being in the workforce still. Not at all. Couldn't imagine it. Well, I can, but I don't. Yikes. Yeah. But yeah, I used to, in a sense, love being up and watching the world go by and being a part of everything. So I don't mean just to be a downer on making a living and taking care of yourself and your family and stuff. So, but yeah, I do have to address the farmers' vehicles aren't electric, and saying that they're doing this because of the way the world is with what's happening with fossil fuels and things, when it's methane that makes things grow and they go hand in hand. Um, in physics and logic and science, what they say really disputes itself. But that's another story, and it's not something I can prove right here. I might be able to with some type of an experiment, but there's other scientists with degrees that would be able to tell you the same thing, but they're not being heard. They're being silenced out here. So, expecting the whole world in 1 year or less to go totally electric without the capabilities and then cutting off the gas is nothing but pure evil. That's the bottom line. And those of us that know that's what the case is, that's why we're out here telling everybody else, yeah, you're not crazy. You're right. They don't care about us. This is the only way they can control people with God in their hearts. They're like, or even ones that don't have God in their hearts. In fact, they comply more readily, I would say. I would say the true troopers that have God in their hearts, they're like they say, wear a mask. Yeah, I have hairs in my nostrils that filter out anything God wants me to filter out. You know, I could see if I was going into even that. how's this for ex, um, an example? For instance, I was going to say, going into like a preemie nursery, a premature baby nursery, and what do you think? Okay, what do you think a mother would do if you came in there without a mask? Number one, and do you really trust that mask? Is that mask really good enough for any germ that a person might supposedly have it anyway? Even, I don't know. I don't know that see, when the mask only guards particles that are um 200 micromillimeters, and any VIRUS is smaller than 50 micrometers rather, um it's ineffective anyway, you know. And you literally would have to wear 200 masks for even a millimeter, let alone a micromillimeter. So if I have that right, and I do believe I just did, if you followed me. But yeah, it's the world is crazy. But the thing is, within 2 weeks we could pick up our economy all over the world because supposedly America used to be what was referred to as the leaders of the free world, like we kind of set precedents, like an example for the rest of the world. Like, look at us, we can succeed no matter what town or who we are, we can build the American dream. And what are they doing to that American dream? You know, taking food right out of people's mouths, giving money to people that don't earn it while the farmers are waiting for subsidies to be helped. There's I think it's called like the Black Farmers of America were promised subsidies. This is a so-called Biden administration is so um pro melanoma in your or what is it? You know what I'm saying? We pro skin color. You know, why aren't they helping, especially the black farmers then? Why not them first? Why not just give them free diesel fuel coupons? Now go farm, or free fertilizer, you know? So I don't know. Then I was watching a Sean Baker MD. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Um, some of you might be familiar with the magazine Sports Illustrated, where they'd always have like the Sports Illustrated swimsuit models. But this year they were like promoting somebody that was of a bigger size, and Sean Baker MD wanted people's opinions on that. Are they promoting illness? And I said simply, they are catering to the flabby for money. Period. That's all I said. That kind of says it all. You know, I went to write this one woman. She's like, I'm bigger, and even when I am slimmer, and her words were like, um, even when I am, she had these key words. It wasn't quite like if, but like an even or even if, that type of thing. And I went to write, we're either promoting being lean or we're not, you know. But I just I took it back. I thought, hey, I'm 5'9" and I'm not a tiny woman, but I'm not flabby. So I'm not going to sit there and say even when, I'm not like at my utmost, you know, I'm not going to sit there and go, even when, even for myself. It's like, nah. But I decided not to say nothing because it wasn't worth it. Like, even with a friend yesterday, he, 1 minute, okay, when I first met him, he was like, on Facebook, was sort of like, um, he had broken up with his family, didn't see his kids and that type of thing. And I know the feeling. So he wasn't really, he believed in God, but he wasn't giving God any kind of, um, I would say consolence. People are like such in a poor me situation that they don't care who they step on, and that includes God. So after a while, pretty soon, like even up until about a month or so ago, he's talking about God, and I thought, "Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. I won one over, you know. And then just all of a sudden, like yesterday, he was and this was where I was going to talk about safety. I told you I'd get back on that subject. Well, it isn't so much of a matter of safety because I know God keeps me safe, but somebody wanting to make me feel unsafe, because I thought this person was a friend of mine, excuse me, that I could say about anything to, you know. I mean, like, okay, he was dissing on God, and I said, you'd be hard pressed to talk like that standing in front of me or something like that. And he wrote back, then all of a sudden it was a physical fight. It's like, um, okay, crazy man, wherever you're from. I didn't say wherever you're from or none of that. I just wrote, uh, I do like to spar, so keep that in mind, you know. And he come back with some funky shit. Oh, see what it was. Oh, he said, "Don't." When I said you'd have a hard time saying that in front of my face, stand in front of my face saying that. And he said, "Don't make threats you can't keep." And I thought, no, okay, now you're being a bitch. Now I do want to beat your ass. And I told him that, not didn't call him a bitch yesterday, but I would have today. But he wasn't really on there. But then I come back and I said, I'd rather fight by your side, but I do love to spar and I'm not in a weak body. So I just left it there. So, but anyway, I was thinking of people that intrude on my peace and intrude on my safety. I told them I'm in the book, look me up. You want to fight? Here I am. Like, wow, dude. Like a hard time standing before me telling me there isn't a God. And the guy's like, ooh, all of a sudden it's a physical thing, okay? And I was thinking that when I wrote it too, it could become physical with the wrong person if they were like whacked. And I really was thinking like that to see how whacked this dude really is. And yeah, he's fucking whacked. So anyway, I found out. So, but I'm still not afraid to spar with anybody because if they go on their crazy making jig, I got some shit for that. I know crazy, you know. First rule of thumb, you never trust crazy. And you don't wait for anything. So, but yeah, what a retard. But yeah, see, we've had our spats before, but and he was a dick, and I never called him on it. I just kind of let it slide, and I told him, you remind me of my oldest son, and he was sort of like coming on to me, and I'm like, and like, yeah, I think you're about the age of my kid, you know. So and then people get mean with me. It's like, get off my ass, you know. I am not saying I'm all that or nothing like that or nothing, but I do know I got a really sparky personality, And but it's the ones that don't want to try and keep up that get jealous with me and stupid like that. It's like, oh, friends, you never heard of friends? Like real, just actually being friends in life and liking another person for who they are. You can't deal with that. Oh, and I wrote back, and this was years ago. I said, he said something about a house he had. I said, I have a house, but I said, I'm thinking of a tiny house. I said, we could be neighbors, in a tiny house community. Wouldn't that be cool to have people around you, friends? Like we could have a place where there was a campfire, or I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. Just the type of neighbors, if you see them, you get along with them, and if you don't, you just leave each other alone type of thing. So I don't think he was quite getting what I was saying until I said we could be neighbors, and then it pissed him off. It's like, well, whatever. And then people can pretend that they don't do and say the things they do and say to me that get me to the point of where I say something. Or do something, which I did make him walk right into it because I was so sick of it. He was on there arguing with his ex in front of me, and I thought, I wonder if this dude's abusive. So, yeah. And I thought, I wonder if I push him to that bitch point, what he's going to do. I found out. And that is a really big deal to somebody that has been beat half to fucking death. I surely want to know who my friends are. You know, can I tell you you aren't going to stand in front of me and diss on God and I'm going to snap on your ass and you're going to be cool with that? What kind of friend are you? you know. So yeah, that's the safety issue of even having people like um anybody that I know that can't control themselves in several ways. They're untrustworthy like that. If a person can't control their emotions and themselves like that, they're not that strong. They're dangerous to be around. Not just for the fear of getting my ass kicked or nothing like that, because I really highly doubt it. I'm not in self defense mode anymore. I'm in offense mode. And there's a big difference in that. I've been like that for a little while now. And it's not going, I told Doug, don't ever expect it to go away. It's not going away. I don't want it to go away. And it's just not going to. That's it. Now, if God tells me something different, He'll be telling my heart, putting it upon my heart to be a little more gentle natured like that who I was made to be. But right now I can't be me in a lot of ways. So, and it has a lot to do with jealousy from all different kinds of directions for all different kinds of reasons. So, but yeah, back to that Sports Illustrated swimsuit thing. I always thought it was kind of stupid anyway. But being that I was in shape, I really didn't care. Um, but people that do, I don't really understand it for any reason. But it's whatever. I mean, if I go to the beach and I see a bunch of good bodies, they're like, hey, happy people, healthy, they feel good. Good for them. If I see somebody who's out of shape, it's like my first thought, I wonder what happened, you know? So, genetics, health, injuries. Um, I think even environment, you know. So my mind goes like that. It really does. So, but anyway, and then if it's a person, a friend of mine, I'll try and give some ideas too because I've been like injured and stuck and not feeling good in my life. So, so I'm not going to promote somebody being um obesely overweight as a model citizen for anybody. Can't do it, you know. I'm not saying that there aren't beautiful large models, because there are, and I know some very beautiful big women that could be on any magazine anywhere, so that I'm not even saying like that. It's and not even the way people look, which it does even me when I'm overweight. It's gross. So if they don't think it's gross, and people, and I'm sure there's some people like, oh, I like a bigger person or something, and I kind of think some people do. Like for me personally, I don't like a real skinny little dude, and they probably wouldn't like me too much either, because I don't know. I think women like a bigger person because they feel maybe a little safer around somebody that like has a little more girth to them. And a lot of times, like with me being kind of taller, a bigger guy was attractive to me because um well, I'm taller than Doug, but he is really big. So, but anyway, I think that what do you think, ladies? Skinny or large? I bet you're gonna say medium to large, right? I'll bet anything. There's a lot of guys that'll like, and I'm not talking just beer belly or donuts that this is cool or that's attractive or anything. Not like that. I'm just talking like bigger dude, if or even a woman with curves. I'm not talking like your normal average person. I'm talking somebody that is obese, is not beast. Yeah, obese is not the pillar of the community. So, and we should always strive to be the best that we can be in that respect. That's a fact. And that's life, that's health. Anybody that you love, you're going, if you see your child eating too much candy, you're going to stop them, you know because it's going to make them sick, and you love them, you don't want them hurt. you know so, and I have somebody on my Facebook that's I know she's borderline diabetic. I know she is. And every once in a while I'll pass something through, and she knows that it is from me to her too, but I'm not gonna go put her name on it or nothing, but she knows, you know. And she also knows that I love her. So very much. So yeah. And another thing going on in the world that they're always gonna try and push is the race thing. Once again, and people got to start speaking up. There's nobody or I know really that hates another person. Maybe you do. I don't know. I really don't know anybody that I could say has hate for anybody, that they would take a weapon and do away with somebody's life because of the color of their skin. I highly doubt that that's really a big thing. Maybe out of mentally ill people. And the last one that was going on, like in Buffalo, New York, there, where this white, mentally ill young man went in and killed mostly black people. And they're going to try and make that about that. Number one, this person that did this was mentally ill. Number two, where he lived with his parents. His parents have flying in their front yard a checkerboard flag, which we all know what that's affiliated with, the black and white symbolism. So, just a little ironic, you know. Plus, he was in there talking to some old man, like they said he had traveled somewhere, but the old man had seen him the day before. It was the old black guy, and they were talking. And the old guy even bought him like a soda or something. They sat down, they talked about everything under the sun that was going on in the world today, you know, which is a little odd if they were going to try and push the race thing with this. So, and then trying to make people afraid enough to um, try and push other people that aren't mentally unstable to give away their right to bear arms, you know, because they don't want, say, like Doug's ability to protect me, or if you're over at my house and somebody does something, and, or, you know, anybody's ability to protect somebody else in life with their weapons, um, they want to try and take that away, and that's just not going to go away. But the one thing that should go away right now is buying oil from any other country and gouging our farmers and everybody, right down to their food, right down to everything that they put in their mouths to try and go to work, to give money to a government that's giving money to other people before they do their own. And all in the name of taking care of people. Yeah. Okay. If that's what they call it, that's not what I call it. So, well, I'm going to leave it on that. The main thing that everybody needs to start telling other people, then we're not buying it, and don't let your governments get away with this crap, because this world is not capable of farming electronically or with robots at this time, and the manpower and the fuel, the even biodiesel fuel, they don't even have that set up. The um the oil. That's what we need. I was trying to think of the petroleum. The petroleum is the number one thing that we need to make our economy come to life before they let all tyranny take over like they're trying to do. And they're trying to let this flood our borders with immigrants to make it entirely a democracy, democratic, all the way. Might as well say communism, same difference, because they work hand in hand, and that's the way it's become. And I used to even lean more like with the dem- Democratic Party, like they were like anti-war and anti-racism, and freedom to pretty much do what you want if you don't harm other people. Well, they're harming people. So, all right, everybody, thank you for joining me. Please spread the word. This world can't run on electronics. We're not capable. If they let the Tesla energy out for free energy for everybody, we could eat and we'd all work less and enjoy our lives, but they don't want us to. And that's the bottom line. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Spread the word. We don't have electric tractors. Peace.